Well, hello there, YouTube. It's Tuesday, January 3rd, 2023, and Happy New Year, you guys. It's been a little over a week or so since I did my last video. I said I was going to just start working right on that front cover, but unfortunately, I'm not at that front cover. You can see the front cover sitting on the table over there, and the reason for that is that one of the parts was defective, so I had to order it. So I'll give you a little video about that in just a second. But before I get there, I kind of wanted to touch base a little bit on the rear cover, of all things, right? And the reason for that, this is the actual cover as I sealed it. This is a picture of it. And I'm just highlighting some areas there, like the surface area. I'm just saying it's only 4 millimeters wide. So by using the Loctite 4mm tip, well, good luck, right? I say good luck with that. So I finalized with the 1 to 1.2 millimeter sealant path using the Toyota. I didn't go around all the bolt holes. I didn't feel it was necessary. And then now, the question is, well, that's not going to seal. You don't have anything on there. There's no sealant on there. Well, let's take a look. I came up with this mathematical equation because after torquing the cover down, I found out it was about 0.2 millimeters. So I said, okay, if that's the case, then, if I used a 1 millimeter bead of sealant, then that's going to come out to 3.95, which, as you notice, all the oil galleries, as I said, is only 4 millimeters wide. And some of them are actually even a little bit smaller, as a matter of fact. But that's the formula that I used, right? And then you say, okay, well, how can you agree with that? Well, this is what it actually looks like after you remove the cover. All right? Now you can see just how much squeeze out that produces, right? You can see there's just a little bit on the edge. I'd say that my calculations are pretty darn close. Here's another view of it. Now right down there at the bottom here, that is a little bit of a peel right there, right? That's how much bleed was on that particular corner. And you can see just a little bit, but nothing like that other one, right? That's what it looks like, the actual cover. You can see all the oil galleries are completely clear, right? Every single one of them is clear. This engine will not starve from oil. And that's one of the big things with these engines, as a matter of fact. So that's why, I just wanted to share that with you. I thought it was important so that you know that I know, and now we all know how much sealant actually went into that. So now the next thing that I want to talk about is, like I said, I was getting ready to install this rear cover. I already made these graphics. This is where I'm going to be adding the assembly grease, right? Yes, I even dry fit everything. And then set up the timing marks. This is how it's all supposed to be done. So I was actually going to release a video last week, but I'll tell you in a minute why I didn't do it. But let me go ahead and just run that video right now so you guys can see the video that I was actually going to make. Here's a funny story, you guys. In 2008, I bought a whole set of upper and lower guides. These are for the timing chain, and the timing chain runs along these guides, okay? So in 2008, I bought the entire set of guides, and today I was getting ready to install everything, and I found out that if you take a look at that, it's missing a part. See that? See how that don't have anything in there? Look at that. Oh. And that, believe it or not, this one little mishap is going to cost me 2 weeks. 2 weeks. I have to wait for that part. And it's their fault to begin with. I bought it brand new. Of course, that was in 2008. So that was the video that I had created last week, and I was going to release that. I didn't, and the reason is my dog got sick. So I don't know if you guys, those of you that have been following me, a couple of months ago I mentioned that my dog's teeth were hurting her. I thought that's what was wrong with her. She kept licking like this when she would go to eat. I didn't know what was wrong with her. So we made an appointment. It took forever to get a dental appointment, right? And then I finally get a dental appointment, and then they test her blood and they say something's not right and referred us to a professional or so-called specialist, right? And the specialist, doesn't listen to anything and says, oh, maybe she's got high blood sugar. We're going to put her on a 14-day monitor, the kind you use with an app, and charges an outrageous amount of money for that. And of course, for 9 days, my dog is getting worse and worse and worse. And they tell me, oh boy, her blood looks great, right? Okay. So I'm pretty good at figuring things out, whether it's cars or houses or electrical or plumbing. And the signs to me tell me that she's bleeding internally. Okay, I'm looking at her gums. I'm seeing that they're turning gray. I know this is about my 560 SL, you guys, but I'm kind of letting you guys know what's going on. All right, why is this thing not together? Well, I'm waiting on parts. Okay, that's number one thing. The second thing is I'm dragging my feet. Like I said, my little girl has been with me for 14 years, so she's had a good life as a little Maltese. But all the signs to me led to, cancer or bleeding internally, something like that. She's dehydrated. They did a blood test and says, oh no, she looks great. Yeah, okay. That's a specialist. And then sent me home with this monitor, and I'm monitoring her, and her blood sugar is perfect, and then the thing faulted. Well, what ended up happening is they did a poor installation of the monitor, okay? So it kind of fell off. So I called them. I says, look, my dog's really not doing very well. And they say, oh, but her blood levels are just great. Well, I don't know why we're testing sugar levels. I says, look, I want to come in and, because they want to continue to monitor her. I says, okay. So I'm going to go in and have it refitted. And I told them then, I said, look, the dog is throwing up. She's dehydrated. She has black stools, and her gums are basically white, very anemic. I think my dog is going to die, right? No vet in sight. This was just, what was it, last Thursday or something? And I don't know, whoever that person was, said the doctor said everything was looking great. She's doing okay. Don't worry about it until and if the monitor goes off under 40 or whatever the heck it is, I don't know. It doesn't matter. Her blood level, her sugar levels were fine until she got sick. Okay. Well, within a couple of days, she died. Okay. So that's what has happened. The last Friday she passed. I held her in my arms. They never diagnosed her, didn't do it. I really don't know where they get their information. I'm gonna let you guys know, I'm a high school dropout. All right, I'm a high school dropout, and I'm smarter than they are. Right? Why do you think I'm working on my car? There's a lot of incompetent people out there. That's right. You guys know, right? I mean, we're all incompetent in certain ways, but when we act like we're an expert in something, by golly, you better be an expert. I've told you guys I don't know what I'm doing over here. Okay? This is kind of a downer video, but that's okay. Sometimes we have some downtimes. And I think when you're building an engine, you're going to have a lot of them, especially with these Mercedes. I'm very frustrated with the Mercedes. For example, look it up in the manual and see if you can find torque specs for the front cover. They don't exist. How do you find the torque specs for the front cover? Well, you have to look at the coolant pump. That's right. That is torqued to 25 foot-pounds, which is torqued to the cover, which is torqued to the block. So that's your settings. But let me get back on track. All right, so I want to get back focused here and kind of let you guys know that I'm going to put out an opportunity. The reason why I started working on this car is because I couldn't find anyone, believe it or not, that would actually work on it. That was my biggest thing. Now, these cars are really going up in value. And it's been sitting in my garage all this time, and I thought, well, you know, it's about time I do something about it. And so I started the project. Now, I don't have a love for this car. I bought this car at auction. You know, I think I can't remember the exact figure I paid. And I drove it 50 miles since I've owned the car. Actually, not really. I think I drove it 250 or something like that, maybe more. And then I started working on it, and I tore the entire underneath of the car out. Every single part of the car is completely rebuilt, hand-built by me. Every single part from the ground up, right? Now you guys have seen the engine. Now, it's not fully together yet, but that's where this next opportunity comes in. The front cover's not on. So if anybody wants to buy this car as is, right now, it's $13,000. Yeah, I have over $20,000 in parts. That's right, because everything's been rebuilt. There's nothing on this car that is not new, old stock. Always new old stock if I could get it. Right? Underneath that car, for example, and there was really nothing bad there. All new Bilstein shocks, that's right, you know, everything, both subframes have been removed, including the rear end, that's right, transaxles, every single part of this car, all the hubs, everything, completely dismantled and put back together. So I thought, you know, why don't I just do something? Because I'm done, all right? I'm going to continue, don't worry. But I'm saying it's $13,000. Now, looking at pricing of these vehicles, cars that still need to have their chains done and guides and things like that done are selling close to $30,000. A fully restored ones can go as high as $60,000. So, there you go. I'm talking $13,000. And what does that also include? How about a brand new transmission? No, the original transmission completely redone by the best Mercedes transmission place in the whole country. It comes with a warranty. That's right. So right now, you know everything I've done to this car up to this point. Everything is documented. I held nothing back. You've seen everything I have done. You see all the specs. You see the crank. That's right. You know all the measurements. Every step is fully documented and there. So, $13,000, and it's yours. Every single bit. As a matter of fact, I'll even throw in that engine stand, the lift, right? The lift to put the engine back in, as well as any special tools required to finish the project. That's right. That's including the tool for the compensating element measurements. You know, I put new valves in this thing, right? You know, let's face it. This is a great opportunity for somebody who really wants to buy one because it's ready. You know where it is, and now you can complete the project. Okay, so now here's where the little thing comes in. Every time I release a new video, the price goes up $1,000. Okay? Then, once it's fully assembled, I'm going to have a price before starting, before trying to turn the key. All right? And then, as I promised, I will start this car live. And I guarantee I will start this car. And I will do it live on YouTube. And when that happens, the price of this vehicle will probably double. All right? Because I'm done at that point. The only thing that needs to be done to the car after that, it could use a new soft top. That's it. It could use one. It's got one, but it could use a new one. And this car is very special. It was special ordered when it was brought here to the US. It's got a special top, which you can still get. But it has a brown top, not black, like all the ones you see out there. It is a brown top and the Palomino. And the guy excluded, when it was, I have the original sticker. He excluded the first aid kit. So you don't have to have a first aid kit and you still have a complete car. All original from the ground up. Every single part of this car is original as far as I know. I think the alternator wasn't or something like that. Or an aftermarket, maybe. But other than that, no. So that's kind of where I'm going right now. I have other things I want to do. I'm old, I'm retired, I'm done. I want to move on. I want to make, retirement videos. I don't want to make 560 SL videos. I'm going to do it, obviously, because I don't think anybody's going to take me up on my offer. But I just wanted to put it out there, I just wanted to put it out there. Because I think if I was in the market for one and I was at this point and I still had the passion, I'd jump on it. 13 grand, I don't think you can beat it. I've seen junk ones cost more than that. But here, you know what you get. You know what you got. It's completely dismantled and we're almost there. So that gets me back to where we're at, and that is completing the front. And I'm waiting on that guide. Once the guide gets here, I'm going to do that, and it's supposed to be here Thursday, I think. Then it's a short block, right? Then the next thing is we'll put the heads on it, right? Well, I guess I got to put the oil pump. See, there's quite a few videos that are coming, right? We do the front cover, $14,000. The oil pump, $15,000, right? And we're going to just continue on. And those are still pretty low prices, right? It's only cost you $1,000 a video. So that's my proposal. And there you go. And we're going to continue on the project until somebody takes me up on my offer. I hope somebody does. I'd like to move on to something new. But with that said, why not subscribe just to see how this all turns out, right? When it's all over with, you can unsubscribe, right? If I keep the car and you want to continue on and we go and get the top put on and we go to cruises, I think we should go out and just go visit some people with restored Mercedes. I'd like to go out and, I'd like to sit in a 300 SL, right? I'd like to do that. That was the car I really wanted, right? We all want that one, but I really don't want to rebuild it. I would rather have one completely done that was perfect. But I'm never going to own one of them cars. I'm kind of done with owning stuff. As a matter of fact, I want to get rid of everything, including my house. I'm gonna downsize, and I don't know, maybe I'll go out in my RV for a year or something like that. But yeah, I'd like to move on. I don't have a dog anymore. I'm not planning on getting a new dog. It's irreplaceable. It's just not the kind of guy I am. I love that one dog, and that's good enough for me. So now I'm going to move on, my wife and I think we need to go to the next chapter. This car's been sitting here for 15 years almost now, right? 14 plus. So it's almost done. You guys want to get it? You know how to do it. Message me right now. That's it. That's all it's going to take. So until the next video, which I hope to come out this next weekend, it's $13,000. All right, guys. Thanks for watching.